Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. Do not worry, your sound is working. We just had a little technical difficulty there. But again, thanks for joining us tonight for CofC and Me, Inclusion and Diversity at the College of Charleston. I'm Devin Thompson. I'm with the Visitor Services team here at CofC, and we're so excited that you all have taken time out of your evening to join us. Before we begin, I have just a few quick housekeeping reminders. Tonight, we will be definitely have the chat function open. So if you have questions throughout the session, please drop those in the chat function. We have so many fantastic campus partners on the call tonight, as well as admissions counselors to answer any of your CofC related questions. But tonight's event will bring together members of the College of Charleston community who are really at the forefront of fostering and supporting the college's commitment and ongoing efforts to make this a community where diversity and inclusion is valued and respected. You'll hear from members from the Office of Institutional Diversity, Multicultural Student Programs and Services, as well as, like I said, our admissions team, alumni, and of course, our current students. But now I have a very special guest to kick us off. I'd like to introduce you all to the Dean of Undergraduate Admissions, Kaitlyn Mccree. Kayla.
Thank you, Devin. Greetings and welcome to the College of Charleston, and particularly to the CofC and Me information session. My name is Kayla Granville, and I have the pleasure of serving the College of Charleston as the new Dean of Admissions. We are so excited to have you join us virtually tonight. The College of Charleston offers numerous academic programs and student support services to prepare students for opportunities not yet imagined. Whether it's marine biology, systems engineering, or international studies, students can explore and be prepared for the careers of tomorrow. This particular session tonight highlights the rich diversity on our campus and in the Charleston area. Whether you are Black or Asian, female or non-binary, LGBTQ, or an ally, the College of Charleston is a welcoming and inclusive community. From applicant to CofC graduate, we are here to support your entire collegiate journey. I want to thank Devin and our Access and Inclusion team, as well as all of our campus partners for creating this event tonight for students and families. Should you have additional questions about the College of Charleston and the resources shared tonight, please connect with any member of the admissions team. At this time, I am pleased to introduce my colleague, Dr. Renard Harris. Dr. Harris serves as the Vice President of Access and Inclusion and also the Chief Diversity Officer here at the College of Charleston. He is one of many champions of diversity at CofC and helps shape numerous programs and conversations on our campus. Dr. Harris, take it away.
Thank you, Ms. Granville. Hi, everyone, and welcome to CofC. Ms. Granville is correct. I'm the Chief Diversity Officer of the Office of Institutional Diversity. Folks often ask, well, what does that mean? So a mantra we often use is we educate the less familiar and empower those we're talking about, right? Because, we want everyone, when you walk through these doors, to feel full. That's what identity and diversity is about. So there's a lot to talk about in terms of diversity, right? A lot going on in our amazing nation and amazing world. Everything has something to do with, diversity. With the results of COVID, with the trauma our nation's had in the last, 2 or 3 years with protest, everything has to do with diversity. The cancel culture, it all speaks to diversity. What's interesting and exciting for me is that you are right in the heart of that. As you graduate high school, you get to help drive some of those decisions and how our nation and world are shaped related to all those issues and more. And not just issues negatively, beautiful things in terms of diversity. So I will be honest, fully transparent. I would love for you to choose the College of Charleston. I think it's a fantastic place to be for all those things that I'm about to share with you. You have the opportunity, liberal arts college, which is the first very cool thing because it's not just about your major, but these interdisciplinary experiences you have. Also, your career plans, you get to shape that. But in terms of what I do, your culture, your identity matters. We often say that your identity matters. And it not only matters to us, but we want it to matter to you. Because we believe everything that shaped you, everything that makes you who you are should be honored and respected, right? When you walk through these doors, it's not like you don't come from an amazingly beautiful place that shaped everything about you. And so we have to honor and respect that. So it's not about coming to the College of Charleston to change you. We, in a way, want to kind of give you a super cape for who you already are, so that when you walk out these doors, the amazing you will be even more amazing with all the experiences we give you here at the College of Charleston. So the College of Charleston is probably roughly around 18% African American, Latin American, Native American, Asian American students who identify with 2 or more races, 2 or more identities. And of course, that's just right by race. And of course, as Ms. Granville just shared, beneath all that and the intersections of all that, from LGBTQ to faith, there's many beautiful identities within identities. And we nurture and honor all of it here at the College of Charleston. So that means we're probably about 82% non-Alana. At the same time, so that's students that are not African American, Latin American, Native American, Asian American, 2 or more races. And it's a beautiful eclectic system that it all happens at the same time with all these beautiful identities. You might notice that I didn't use the term minority. Of course, you might see the term minority on federal information, minority, majority. But I was advised and educated from my admissions colleagues that let's not use minority. Let's use Alana, right? Identify me as I am, which I think is absolutely beautiful. I also think that's a beautiful way to look at it, because when I think about minority and majority, I think more numbers and politics, and the majority wins. That's not what it's about for me and for us, my colleagues here at CofC. Whether it's one person versus 10 in terms of how you look and how you engage, everyone is equally important. So that word equity is incredibly important to us. So I want to share a few programs that run out of our office and then introduce some fantastic panelists to you. So our office, for the most part, we kind of push and chase the numbers, the data. Did we support recruitment? Did we support retention of students? Did we support the fit? Our students feel at home? Did we support graduation? So our office is a small office that does a lot of collaboration and support of all those offices that are engaged directly with students. A few I want to share with you. One is called LaunchPad. We're very excited about the program. It's a collaborative program with many different offices. The idea is this, it's a liberal arts college, but at the same time, with LaunchPad, you can begin to shape out your career plans. So it's a great collaborative work with the Career Center. So those things that you feel might shape you in terms of what you need to know, everything from LinkedIn to resume writing to interviews to internships. We work on that in LaunchPad. You have that opportunity. Working with businesses that have a social justice priority. And this is important. So, and I'm very transparent about these things. It's not just, my first name is Reynard. They want you because you're Black. No, they want me because of my experiences of being beautiful and Black. So it's not just what they see that they want, it's that beautiful identity brings so much asset to businesses. And we know by all the research, the more diverse, the more effective something can be. So we're working with companies that have that social justice priority to come to our campus. And thirdly, we're working with multiple mentorship programs on this campus that do things that have cohorts of students to have a certain mission to drive to support them in their classroom. So LaunchPad is a combination of all those things: professional development, mentorship, business outreach, and students get a chance to engage that the minute they walk through the door, while also pursuing a liberal arts degree. So clearly the plan is, as you matriculate, you have a good idea of what you want to do as a career. You have experiences doing that through internships and working with companies, as well as liberal arts degree. And so when you walk out the door, it's not a question mark, it's an exclamation point about what you want to do. A second one I want to share with you is called Crossing the Cistern. Years ago, one of our presidents, I was under another president at the time, talked about increasing diversity at our campus. And one of my responses is, well, of course, there's many ways to do that, but one way to do that is to take care of who's in the house, right? And so Crossing the Cistern was built on a concept of well-being, right? So that when our students, any student, find themselves socially struggling, academically struggling, we want to show a shared responsibility that we support those students, right? So we created this program called Crossing the Cistern, which is built on well-being. In every school, regardless of what you major in, every school has a Crossing the Cistern program. And the idea is that you are invited into this program. We provide financial support, mentor support, Center for Student Learning support, engagement support, social engagement support, guest speakers. It's a bit of a wraparound within a wraparound to make sure you are fully engaged. We used to call it a momentum program, that if your GPA is kind of finding itself at a lower end, we want to get your momentum going, to re-energize you here at CofC to make sure you graduate. Another program is diversity liaisons. Every school, regardless of what you major in, will have a liaison in your school. That liaison, with his or their committee, their responsibility is to create initiatives that are specifically for unique identities, however you might identify. All those identities we shared earlier. They'll create initiatives to bring in those identities. And the number one question is, are we doing what you need to be retained, to feel at home? So every school will have a program like that, drive initiatives like that from the specific schools. And I'll close here. You know, our president, the current president, President Andrew Shue, who is fantastic, rock star, we have a module that we've been sharing with all the faculty, staff, and students. You've probably taken a module sometime in your K-12 experience. And so, you know, modules don't do everything. You know, they're not the answer to everything. But the point is this. It's a sense of awareness. Where is the College of Charleston on its sense of diversity? So we highly encourage all faculty, staff, and students to take the module, to engage with the module, to know that we have a general sense and agreement of where we are in diversity. Because as you probably know from your own experiences, diversity is defined in so many different ways. So we want to make sure we have a common language, a common understanding of what that means, so that wherever you are, from one end of the campus to the other, we all know how to support, how to engage, and that it's important to engage equitably. So I think in closing, what I want to say is this. We want to situate you here at the CofC. Your dining plan, your financial plan, your residence, if that's situated well, your job is just to engage with the campus, go to class, learn, engage with clubs, right? So we want to situate you, your identity, your beauty, and say, you're good, now take off, create a path to engaging with the classroom and doing well. This is my last statement. We're intentional. So there's a lot of talk about diversity. Sometimes there's a lot of chatter. Our offices are about action. What are you doing, right? Not just talking about it, but what specifically are you doing to support amazing identities out there? So I hope to see you next year at the College of Charleston. So I want to introduce you to some panelists that are fantastic and colleagues. I'm going to introduce you to Mr. Leah James, who is the Honors College Admissions Counselor, Ms. Rochelle Johnson, the Director of Multicultural Student Programs and Services, and I think we have Ms. Kanisha Fletcher, a representative from the Black Alumni Council. So I'll pass the mic on to Ms. Leah James. See you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Dr. Harris. It's a pleasure to be here with you guys today. I'm going to give you a little bit of information about the CofC Honors College. The Honors College is about 50 years old here on the campus. It is about 900 students, so about 10% of the entire student body. It's all about offering our honor students the best support to make their 4 years at the College of Charleston whatever they imagine it to be. We can move on to the next slide. We're going to talk about all the different benefits that come along with being a part of the Honors College. So first and foremost, you will definitely have a more tailored academic path. So smaller and discussion-based classes that are a little bit more writing intensive, but they're going to be close so you can make relationships with your professors and your classmates. Also, an amazing part that a lot of our students love is that you get a 4-year advisor through the Honors College. So this person is with you on day 1 and they are with you on the last day when you cross the cistern as well. Another really cool addition to that support is that each freshman is paired with a career coach in our Career Center, and this is going to help those students who are kind of in the middle of trying to decide a major or trying to figure out how their major correlates with a career. Our Career Center is really helping our freshmen make those decisions. Another really awesome part is the living and learning community that is in one of our dorms here on the campus. That first floor has a TV lounge, a study lounge, and also some classrooms, which is really convenient. And then all of the classes that you will take through the Honors College are going to be interdisciplinary. They're going to be special topics and taught by professors who are passionate about the courses that they're teaching. The school in general does a really good job at putting experiential learning at the forefront. And the Honors has embedded this into our curriculum. So that first year, you will get involved in a service learning project, which is called Honors Engage. That's going to be a year-long thing. A lot of our students are able to see success from that, and they continue to volunteer with those community partners throughout the 4 years, and sometimes they end up being jobs, which is always really awesome to hear. Then you will move on into your honors immerse. This often happens in that sophomore or junior year. It's a semester-long independent project. This could be an internship. This could be study abroad. This could be research here on campus or with any of our community partners. And then finally, in that senior year, you'll go into your bachelor's essay, which is going to be your senior thesis, kind of wrapping up all the amazing things you've learned throughout your experience at the College of Charleston. Can we go to the next slide? Some of the honor-specific organizations that we have, I'll start with Charleston Fellows. This is our top scholar program. Approximately 25 incoming freshmen receive named scholarships from our foundation and also our alumni. So all of our students who apply by November 1st are automatically considered for Charleston Fellows. So if you are interested in being able to receive any of those scholarships, which I hope you all are, apply by November 1st. International Scholars is another amazing one. The school does a good job at study abroad, and this International Scholars program helps freshmen get involved early. So 12 incoming freshmen travel abroad at the end of their freshman year, and they're also advised by our associate dean, and that is that personalized advising for those 4 years. Entrepreneurship Living and Learning Community. This is another cohort of students, and it is advised by one of our amazing computer science professors. This is not just for students who are interested in entrepreneurship. These are for students who are interested in taking an idea and making it come to life. So if you have an idea that you want to turn into a website or to an app, this is a place for you. Some of our other campus partnerships is through the Office of Undergraduate Research and Creative Activities. This is really important for students who are wanting to study abroad and do some research. This is going to help you get that funding, and this is what they're there for. They provide great resources for our honor students, and we can connect you with them right away. And then our Office of Nationally Competitive Awards, awesome partnership that we have as well. Some of the national awards that our honors students and honors alumni have won are the Fulbright grants, Goldwater scholars, and a lot more that I can list out for hours. And then also that partnership with the College Career Center, that freshman career coach is very important to help you really, get to the end of your college career, because that's what it's all about. And now that I've kind of told you all the details of the Honors College, the easiest way to apply is through the CofC application or the Common App. It's done while you're doing your general application. The only extra piece this year is the Honors Supplemental Essay. That topic is on our website. And then we also ask for you to show us about what you're doing in your communities through that activities list. The first priority deadline is November 1st, and you will receive that decision by December 15th. And then that second one is January 15th, and you'll receive that decision by March 1st. As I stated earlier, if you are wanting to be considered for those scholarships, get it in by November 1st. What we're looking for in students, not necessarily hard numbers when it comes to GPA or test score. We're looking for students who are performing well in their classes and taking the most rigorous coursework. They have strong writing skills, so again, in that essay, kind of demonstrate that there. And then also being engaged in their communities through leadership roles or even just being a part of different things. Test scores are optional for the school, but also optional for the Honors College as well. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Again, my name is Aaliyah James, and I'll turn it back over to you, Dr. Harris.
Thank you, Ms. James. I'd like to have Ms. Rochelle Johnson, please. Ms. Johnson.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the Office of Multicultural Student Programs and Services, also known as MSPS on campus, we'd like to welcome you, our future Cougars. So the Multicultural Center is located next to Addlestone Library at 207 Calhoun Street. And the center is a place for students of diverse backgrounds to come and utilize the space for clubs, for meetings, to study, just to kick back and to have some place to hang out. Next slide, please. So in our center, we have a conference room, we have a living room for students to kind of socialize, and we have 2 areas that consist of student computer, we call our student computer labs, for students to come in, use our computers, print classwork, and the center is open Monday through Thursday until 9 p.m. And regular hours on Fridays until 5. Next slide. So we also have, and this is fairly new, we added I think maybe a year or 2 ago, probably around 2 years now, our prayer and meditation space. It's a non-denominational area on the 4th floor of our Multicultural Center, and it's just a quiet, peaceful place for students who may want to meditate, reflect, and prayer. And since the space has been open, we have a lot of students come up and use this space, and it's really very soothing and a calming place to be. We also offer a beverage station for students, and I always say we're not Starbucks, but we do offer coffee, tea, bottled water, hot chocolate for students coming in to use the space, or just stopping by in between classes. Next slide. So MSPS, we work with student groups, partners across campus to provide culturally based social programs to educate about diversity and inclusion. So as Dr. Harris said earlier, his office works mostly with data. And our office, we have the student touch point, and we work closely with institutional diversity when it comes to student initiatives, retention, student success. And we also provide a couple other opportunities for students we offer the students an opportunity to participate in our multicultural graduation for our Asian American students, our African American students, Latinx, Hispanic, and our LGBTQ students. So this is something really to look forward to your senior year. Our office also provides training for Safe Zone for our faculty, staff, and students. And it helps to promote an environment where participants can feel free to talk and learn more and learn how to interact with our LGBTQ community. Next slide. So one of our signature programs, and if you're accepted into the College of Charleston, you will start receiving emails on Spectra. What is Spectra? Spectra is a month-long transition program for incoming students. Spectra means Speedy Consolidation and Transition Program, and it's an opportunity for students to live on campus, take 2 for-credit classes, and eat in the dining hall. So it's an opportunity for you to meet faculty, staff, President Shu, and senior level administrators, but it's an opportunity really for you to come and acclimate yourself to campus before the start of the fall semester. We do have a STEM component of Spectra that we call SCAMP, and that means the South Carolina Alliance for Minority Participation, and I believe one of our speakers tonight, Wendell, participated in that program and did very well. And our students who are of African American and Hispanic descent are interested in the STEM fields, it's an opportunity for them to take a couple classes that are a little bit more rigorous than what our other Spectra students, the regular Spectra students would take. And then those SCAMP students would go ahead into the fall semester under the director, Professor Sophia Agrest, and SCAMP would be a 4-year program, and Wendell can probably tell you a little bit more about SCAMP than I can. But Spectra is a great opportunity. So when you're accepted to the College of Charleston and you start to see emails about Spectra, please take the time. It's very simple, fill it out, and we'll definitely be in touch with you regarding our Spectra program, which, by the way, has been in existence for 41 years this year. So it's this long-standing tradition at the College of Charleston. We have honors college students who participate in Spectra. We have legacy scholars students who participate, and also Meeting Street Academy scholars. So we have a wide array of incoming freshmen to participate in this program. Next slide. So when you come back in the fall, if you do join us for Spectra in the summer, then we do have a mentoring initiative as well, and it's called Mentoring Matters, and it's an opportunity for us to pair you with an upperclassman, a faculty staff, or even an administrator. And that person is just a support system to help you navigate your first year at the college. We also will provide opportunities for you to bond with your mentor through social activities or events. And typically, students will come in and they meet with their mentor their fall semester, and they find their footing and their sense of belonging and their people. And come spring, they ghost us. But not they ghost their mentors, but they've found their footing. And I always say, hey, text your mentor, tell them you're doing fine. And 9 times out of 10, a lot of our students will come back their sophomore year and say, hey, when you have Mentoring Matters again, I would love to be a mentor for an incoming student. Next slide. So we're a small staff. It's myself, Assistant Director Linda Keller, who handles and coordinates our Safe Zone training along with our mentoring program, and she's the co-advisor to students as well, and Ayana Johnson, who's our administrative staff. So if you're on campus for a tour at any time, stop by to see us. We're at 207 Calhoun Street until December. And in January, we'll be locating closer to the center of campus. So now I'm going to turn it back over to Dr. Harris.
Thank you, Ms. Johnson. I hope you enjoyed the panel. Do we have Ms. Kanisha Fletcher? Is she with us this evening? Okay, so that was Mr. Leah James and Ms. Rochelle Johnson. And I hope you get the message that, you know, it's not just about going to college and saying, you know, go for it. It's where's the support, right? Who do we go to? And so Ms. James and Ms. Johnson just gave you 2 great examples of what they do in their spaces. And I want you to know it's not just individual people. The entire campus is here to support you. So it's not just about going and finding yourself on your own. There's incredible support across this campus. So I hope you enjoyed that information. I hope that's very useful for you if you choose the College of Charleston, and I hope that you do. My co-host, Mr. Kenyatta Grimmage, he's the Associate Director for Access Initiatives and Pre-College Programs. He is, I tell the same story every time I do this, is that, so I have to tell it again because I just want to keep the pattern going. I heard Mr. Grimmage share one time with parents that when students come here to the College of Charleston, it's personal to him, that they are in a good place, that they are retained and they're supported, and he takes it personally. And I will tell you, as a parent, that's what I want to hear when I drop my daughter off to college, someone that is there and it's a personal relationship to make sure that she's supported. Mr. Kenyatta Grimmage, take it away.
Good evening. Like Dr. Harris, thank you for that introduction. Like Dr. Harris said, Kenyatta Grimmage, and I serve as the Associate Director for Access Initiatives and Pre-College Programs in the Office of Admissions here at the College of Charleston. I'm happy to be here tonight. So you've heard about all different support services and resources and opportunities that we provide here as it pertains to diversity. But what you have to know is that there's no diversity without inclusion. And our students are, you know, the megaphones that go out into the world and talk about their experiences here at the College of Charleston. They are the backbone of this college. And they are a direct beneficiary from all of the resources that you heard about tonight. So I always am excited to hear from them. The student panel presentation is by far the most important part of this presentation because you hear it from them. You hear it from the horse's mouth, so to say. So with that being said, this is our student panel presentation. I'm gonna let our panelists introduce themselves, tell us, their names, where they're from, their major, and their classification, what year they're in here at the College of Charleston. Take it away, students.
Okay, I guess I'll start. Good evening, everyone. My name is T. I'm from Beaufort, South Carolina. I'm a senior at the college majoring in computer information systems.
All right, I guess I'll go. My name is Wendell Roberson. I'm currently an alumnus of the college. I graduated in 2018. My major is astrophysics, and I am from Beaufort, South Carolina.
Hi, my name is Kaitlyn Mccree. I am from Chester, South Carolina. I am currently a senior at the college, and I am a public health major with a healthcare services and management minor.
I think we have one more panelist. Maybe she had to get off. But we'll go with you guys. So, all right. So, like most of the students on this call tonight, our panelists had many options for college, right? They applied themselves, so they had, tremendous options to go anywhere they wanted to go to. But they chose the College of Charleston. I want them to talk a little bit about why College of Charleston. You can stay in the same order.
Okay. Well, at the time, I chose College of Charleston because it was closer to home. I'm like an hour away from Beaufort, and just being the first person in my family to go to college, I just wanted my family close to me. We're very close knit, so I just wanted to be able to go home every single weekend. But as during my time here, I go home less just because I've just created such a big family here at the college. So I guess that's probably my main reason why I came to CofC.
For me, it was a little different. So I'm from Beaufort as well. And College of Charleston was a place that offered me a chance to be supported. Again, there's family back home, back an hour away, but the school I really wanted to go to at the time was Embry-Riddle down in Florida. And, some things didn't work out, whether money or, traveling and getting down there and stuff like that. Also, I had like better in-state support as well, but when it really boiled down to it, I realized I can do everything I want to do at the College of Charleston as well. So I ultimately wanted to be an aerospace engineer, and I'm interested in space and all that type of stuff. And then just doing my own little research of schools in South Carolina that are a little closer to home. I realized South Carolina College of Charleston has it's actually one of the best astrophysics departments in the Southeast. Some of the professors there are at the top of their field, if not at the top. And so it was just a great opportunity for me to like stay kind of close to home, but also get a chance to do everything I want to do going into the field that I'm in right now.
So my reason for choosing the College of Charleston was slightly different. When I was younger, I knew I wanted to live in Charleston, just not when. But after close consideration, I chose the College of Charleston because my future plans are to go into the medical field, and I feel that this school would give me the closest connections with MUSC.
Great. Our second question: what opportunities and resources at CofC aided you in your transition to the college?
So my journey here at the college was a little different. I was actually a first cohort bridge student here at the college. So the support from the Charleston Bridge program definitely helped me a whole lot. And after the bridge program, it's still the same type of resources, support that you have, just as if you were in the bridge program. So that helped me a whole lot. And then I got introduced to Mr. Grimmage. He also was another resource on campus, just someone you can talk to. So the community, for one, and just all the other resources here on campus, like Center for Student Learning, joining clubs, organizations, and things like that. So that definitely helped aid just my transition into college from high school.
Two of the resources and kind of things that I kind of want to shout out and talk about are SCAMP that Ms. Rochelle mentioned earlier, and then Student Ambassador Program. So being in the STEM fields with SCAMP, you get hooked up with Mr. Grest. I personally was not in Spectra. However, you know, seeing that tight-knit group, and they were all about, you know, math and science and everything, that's kind of the group I wanted to be in. That SCAMP component of Spectra, I guess. And so Mr. Grest actually taught my first calculus class that I was in. And being a part of SCAMP, they really drive undergraduate research. And that is huge for anyone that wants to go into STEM fields, whether it's computer science, whether it's physics, whether it's mathematics, you know. So undergraduate research is all it is just you and a professor, you guys personally write up some type of grant proposal or something like that, and you guys get the funding for whatever project you guys want to research, whether it's a research project that you and your professor, that you're kind of like getting into that your professor's already done, or you guys make up a new one. But either way, that's just a great opportunity in the STEM fields to just get that exposure to what you'd be doing in the future anyway. And I felt like SCAMP really drove that home. I was able to do like 3 projects my time as an undergraduate. And so SCAMP was a great resource for me that I really enjoyed. And also being able to see people like me doing those things as well was a great part of that. And then the Student Ambassador Program, just being able to be a part of the inclusion, the diversity at the College of Charleston, and making that a better possibility for people who come after me. So when I first arrived on campus, I looked around, I was like, where's everybody that looks like me? And so I had to go out and find them. Again, getting hooked up with Mr. Grimmage. We talked about getting student ambassadors, and so I became one. And that process is very professional as well. You go through interviews and everything. But being able to be a part of watching the diversity grow on the campus was something that it really excited me, just because it started at, I literally saw it grow myself. So that's just something that I really enjoyed being a part of at the College of Charleston.
So the 2 programs that impacted me the most, I did Spectra in the summer of 2019, and that really helped my transition into college. But the program that has sincerely gotten me through these past 3 years have been SA. Not to downplay what the impact that Spectra gave me, but in SA, it's like you have a family. Because when I first came on campus, again, there was not many people that looked like me. So therefore, I felt really lonely. But after joining SA, it's like your family away from home. So I would highly suggest joining Student Ambassadors.
All right, I think you guys touched on question number 3, so we're going to skip to question number 4. How did you adjust in being a school where you're a member of the minority community? So talk a little bit more about that adjustment. And all of you guys don't have to answer this question. You can, 1 or 2, you can. See you on mute if you're speaking.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just thinking about it. But I would say it definitely was a culture shock for me, just being a minority student coming to College of Charleston. I would say the best way that I was able to get through all of that was just not being afraid to speak up, and just making my voice heard on campus. Another thing that helped me was getting involved, helped me navigating through campus, touching the hands with the right people, and just, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I can agree. Don't be, just because you might not feel like you're accepted at first, the College of Charleston does a lot, you know, but you also have to meet them a little bit too, you know, because you can't just be, you got to get out there, you know, you got to start putting yourself out there. Obviously, coming to college in general is a shock, but then, you know, when you don't feel like you're supported, that can also be a big part of it as well. But once you realize, and once you're out and you realize that there is support, that there are people there who care about you, there are people who want to see you succeed. I think that's a part of it. You know, you have to come out a little bit. If I'm not saying that anyone or any single person is in a shell or anything like that, but it does take a little bit of you putting yourself out there just to see what the College of Charleston is all about.
So, you know, part of the greatest thing about, you know, diversity and inclusion at the College of Charleston is that, you know, I always say inclusion is where opportunity meets support, right? You have all the opportunities, but at the College of Charleston, you know, I always tell students that 85% of your journey is support, right? You know, you can have all the opportunities in the world, but you got to be supported. Kanai, can you talk a little bit about that support piece, and do you feel supported here at the College of Charleston?
So yes, I do feel supported here at the College of Charleston, but to piggyback off what Tia and Wyndon said is that you have to be involved. So if you're not I'm not going to say if you're not involved, you won't have access to the support system, but I mean, it sincerely helps. Like, I'm a resident assistant as well as a student ambassador. And so I can say that knowing that I have people here that support me and not just my parents that are 3 hours away has sincerely helped me a lot.
That's great. Next question. What do you enjoy most about the College of Charleston? There's so much to enjoy, but tell us a little bit about one of the few things that you enjoy here most at the college. Wendell, you can talk about it when you was here as well.
I guess I'll start. I'm not gonna be. I'm gonna just be honest with you. I'm a 5th year senior. I love the College of Charleston. You can tell I don't want to leave. COC definitely has prepared me to be ready to go. But what I enjoy most is just being on campus. It's a beautiful campus. Just walking through the cistern yard, speaking to people, having a smile on my face. I just am happy every time I'm on campus. So that's what I enjoy most. Just the community itself, the support. Everyone at the college is just amazing, and I'm definitely gonna miss it once I graduate. I don't want to cry yet already, but I love it here.
For me, just being alumni is being able to speak to different people of different backgrounds. So I feel like that is a place where I've seen that the most. I'm sure you could say that you could get that at any school, but nobody did it, I guess, or does it like the College of Charleston, just because, for one, beautiful city, beautiful place, Cistern Yard is amazing, but just some of the people that it attracts, just being the place that it is, you know, you get all kinds of cultures and all kinds of different backgrounds and things, and just being able to, you know, either rub shoulders, you know, just see someone on the sidewalk, start a conversation, be in the library, seeing them studying, seeing other people doing their thing, whether it's, you know, art, whether it's music, you know, just being able to see all that, like the big melting pot aspect of it. I haven't seen that anywhere else in my life, except in my time at the College of Charleston. So.
Kanai, you want to answer that question as well?
So the thing I enjoy most about the college is that there's always something to do. When you feel that you have nothing to do, there is always something to do. So I'm guessing for me personally, it's that I'm never bored. I always have somewhere to go, somewhere to be.
Great. Final question, I believe. We have. Yeah, so this is for Wendell. I think Wendell was the college's first African-American astrophysics. I've been at the college 13 years, and I don't know any African-American astrophysics majors besides Wendell and graduates of that program. So I just want him to talk a little bit about that experience, being the first.
So I did not know this at all. If that's true, then that's awesome. I guess I'm happy. I guess I'm happy for it. But that's just something I'm interested in. So astrophysics, like I said, I want to be an aerospace engineer. Really interested in space and the science of it and everything. I know you could be asking the question, why didn't you go to an engineering school if you want to be an aerospace engineer? Well, engineering is kind of like the application of the physics. If you understand the environment that you're going into, which is, astrophysics at large, and you can speak on that, you can, use that knowledge to build whatever it is you need to accomplish any mission that you need in the environment that you know so much about, and you might just be thinking astrophysics is just space, but if you just think about physics on a larger scale, that's pretty much all it is. But being in that program, I'm not sure if he's still there, but Dr. NK, who is I can't say his name, it's Indian, but he's the head of the department, and that department is I didn't feel like I was excluded or anything like that throughout. There are plenty of faculty who look like me. There are many chances that I was given, whether it was research, whether it was other opportunities in classes. So there's a great opportunity with NASA that is available that you can be a part of as well. So many projects, so much knowledge to gain being in that program. I want to answer all the questions, Mr. Grimmage. Can you go back a slide? Maybe I could just read it again. Kind of.
Yeah. So that was the question. The next one is what advice? Yeah. So as alumni of the college, alumnus of the college, what advice would you give for any minority students that's considering the College of Charleston?
What advice would I give to students of minority populations considering College of Charleston? I guess that's kind of hit on something that he said earlier. If you're going to come to the College of Charleston, be ready to speak up. And that's not saying that you have to, you might feel a little uncomfortable, and that's fine, because at the end of the day, I mean, no one ever really advances if they feel comfortable the entire time, So I think that's a part of it. You got to go out there and find those people that look like you. You have to go find your niche. You got to have to go find those people with similar interests. And they're out there, So I took Japanese when I was here. I didn't think that there'd be many people who were into that kind of thing. I was wrong. I played basketball a lot. So many things that you can do at the College of Charleston, and just because you're a minority does not mean that you're alone. And being a part of the College of Charleston is just getting out there, meeting those people who have those similar interests, and just not being afraid to speak up. And don't be the one that sits in the back of the class and just has nothing to say. Offer what you know and what you've experienced, and offer that to the conversation. So that's my advice for any minority students considering the College of Charleston.
That's great. Offer your experience. I like that. So now it's that time at the end for you to hear a little bit about, as a freshman, what you should be preparing for, what you should be doing as you prepare to come into the College of Charleston. I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, Ms. Laura Sanders.
Thank you, Kenyatta. So we're going to go over just quickly what freshmen should be looking to submit in regard to their application for the College of Charleston. You can apply to the College of Charleston through the Common App or through cfc.edu. Either one is accepted. We do have an application fee of $60, which we are happy to waive. If you're on here tonight, just reach out to any of us. We'll be happy to give you a fee waiver. So when you're applying, you need to fill out the application itself, and then you can take a picture of and upload your high school transcript. You can decide if you would like to be test optional. That is up to you. I personally think there is no downside to being test optional. That is completely up to the student. The self-reported courses and grades is a component that will be changing, so we're not going to worry about that this evening. So I'm going to go to the next slide. Admission standards. In support of our holistic file review process, admissions decisions are based on the following criteria, regardless of your residency. We're going to consider your high school coursework. Of course, we're looking for honors, AP, dual enrollment, your GPA weighted or unweighted, whatever that is at your particular high school. We typically look for a strong AB average. Test scores, if you submit those, again, we are test optional, and I encourage students to take advantage of that. And class rank if your school ranks. Not every school ranks. Next slide, please. So we're going to talk about some deadlines. October 15th, which has passed, is for early decision. So we'll skip over that to November 1, which is right around the corner. That's our early action deadline, and it's also our Honors College priority deadline. Early action is non-binding. If you apply by November 1, we promise a decision no later than mid-December. We actually say that we will notify you on December 15th. January 15th, looking forward, is our regular decision deadline. Also our departmental scholarship and our honors college deadlines, and you will be notified by March 1st. After January 15th, applications will be considered on a case by case and space available. So, you know, it's October 22nd, I think. So you guys have plenty of time to get that. I'm sorry, it's the 21st. You have plenty of time to get that application in by the November 1 deadline, because that's also going to put you into our scholarship deadline as well. March 1st is our FAFSA priority deadline. You guys can already go on and submit, complete your FAFSA. So we encourage you to do so. FAFSA opened on October 1. May 1st is National Decision Day, where you have to have decided where you're going to attend and make sure that you've done that enrollment and housing deposit. So again, make sure that you're applying to us on our webpage, cfc.edu/apply, or on the Common App. Next slide. As always, we're going to encourage you to visit the college. We have a virtual tour available for you, as well as check out our on-campus events, everything from virtual to in-person. So, you know, it's always great to start with the virtual, but to come, put your feet on the bricks, check us out is a great opportunity to really see if you can see yourself on our campus for the next few years. So we, as always, welcome you to our campus. Next slide. All righty, I think I'm going to hand it over to Michelle McDowell now. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Laura, and thank you to all of our presenters this evening. Students and families, we hope that you have enjoyed your time with CFC this evening, and that you have gained a little more intimate knowledge as to what we stand for as far as inclusion and diversity on campus, your resources that are going to be available to you if you choose to connect with us and join us in the fall. I do want to make mention of one of our pre-college and diverse initiatives that's coming up this Saturday. Move, our multicultural on-campus visit experience. Come on campus on Saturday from 9 to 3. We're going to have several workshops that's going to go into a little bit more detail as to what you heard today. You're going to see some of these same presenters there on Saturday, but please visit our website in order to register for that. It is not too late to come and spend your Saturday with us. That is on our website, on our event page right there. It is free. No charge. So, hey, come on out, spend your day downtown Charleston with us and learn just a little bit more why we can be a great fit for you. Again, families, thank you so much to our students, our presenters this evening. Thank you for taking your time out to share your knowledge with our prospective students. If you have additional questions, please don't hesitate to put those, send those to our admission email. We want to make sure that you have all the information that you need in order to make that decision to come and join us. So again, stay safe. And we're so grateful that you spent this time with us. Thank you.